Hello, traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, March 27th, 2015. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue sunny skies on a Saturday morning for me, and white sandy beaches. Absolutely gorgeous day today in Thailand. Traders, we're going to review in the Friday wrap-up about 15 or 16 daily charts. Take a look at what happened the week before, maybe what we can determine what's going to happen in the week ahead. Take a look at some trends and stuff like that. But before we do that, if you would, please let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator through the Friday wrap-up series. We do it every Friday about 4 to 5, 6 hours after the New York close. Happy to say it's pretty early in my time zone, so it's only about 4 hours before, after the New York close. Traders, my name, like I said, is William Gilday. I've been trading since the year 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful 27-year career at the Fire Rescue Department in the great state of Florida. Came to Thailand to celebrate my 27-year career for 3 months, and well, it's 2015, traders, and I'm still here. I do trade the Forex markets on a daily basis. I'm looking at fundamentals and technicals, and I'm looking at charts, and I'm looking for probabilities with opportunities to enter trades with hopefully profits. Now, we know we can't win every trade, but we can sure work hard to try to achieve the majority. All right, that's just a little bit about myself. And yes, I am enjoying my retirement in Thailand. But I got to say, I think I work harder now than I did when I was in the United States on a real job. Okay, let's take care of the risk disclaimer. This is the legal stuff. Forex trading has a large potential of rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. That is so important, traders. If you need, go to a macro account or a micro account. All right. Also, remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results, i.e., you're on a demo account, you go to a live account, your winning trades are probably going to decrease a little bit. That's just the way it works. Let's go over to commentary. I don't have any comment on what FOMC chairwoman Janet Yellen said, as that was the middle of the night for me when she spoke, and I have not seen any reports. Well, I have to be honest, I haven't looked at any reports of what had happened during that speech. We had some pretty good price action this week, a little hard on entries, but once you entered the trade, it sort of worked out. But a little bizarre, a lot of the trades, for example, the euro yen, was like 120 pips to the upside, and then the next day was 120 pips to the downside. So it was really kind of hard to follow a bias from your higher time frames when you have currency pairs that are swinging that far back and forth. The same with the euro. The euro's up to 1.08 already. You know, a week ago it was at 1.1. So, you know, what's going on with the euro and what's happening there. So it's been swinging all week up and down and all around. So that's just an example of some of the currency pairs that have just been really hard to get entries and sustain a good trade. The Euro-Aussie trade that I talked about really was kind of interesting. It actually started in Asia, and it just, for 12 hours, just continued to the downside. It was like 142 pips or something like that. Very good trade. I think we'll see a pretty good shot of it on these daily charts. All right, let's take a look at the indices. What happened? The Dow closed in the positive at 0.19%. The S&P 500 was up 0.24%. The Nasdaq was up 0.57%. And the Russell 2000 was up 0.68%. All right, let's head on over to the Eurozone, where the DAX closed up 0.21%, with the FTSE 100 closing down negative 0.58%, with the CAC 40 up 0.55%, with the Euro Stoxx 50 positive 0.25%. Traders, let's come on over to my side of the world, and let's take a look at what happened in Asia. And again, traders, all these markets are closed as it is. We are into our weekend break. The Nikkei 225 closed down 0.95%. The S&P ASX 2000 out of Australia closed up 0.69%, with the Shanghai also positive 0.27%, and the Hang Seng negative just barely at 0.04%. And the Kospi has in the red at 0.14%. Just real quick on the indices, just want to let you know how the week ended. So it is that time, my friends. This is a review of daily charts. Please keep that in mind when we're looking at these charts. These are daily charts, but price action is price action. So whether it's a daily chart or it's a 5-minute chart, it's still price action, and that's what we're looking at. That's the whole purpose of this review, is price action and what we can expect in the week ahead. As usual, we will start with the euro dollar. Okay, this is a really nice downtrend here. If you look at this chart spatially and pull your head back, take a look. Nice downtrend. It looks like it's at a fib, it's at a resistance level, and we ended the week on a doji on the daily chart. So my guess is that this is going to continue to drop, right? This bias on this chart is down. The 200 exponential moving average is down. So I would be looking to sell the euro dollar unless something unbelievably happens. The big thing to watch next week is what happens with Greece. That is very important. What happens with Greece? If they come to a decision, I think it's by the 1st, which would be Wednesday, we might see quite a bounce here in the euro if that Greece situation gets solved, and it looks like it's going to. Signs are looking positive. All right, the euro USD Swissy, sorry. To the downside, this is this is what you would expect. This is correlated. Sorry about that. This is correlated with the euro dollar. So, if the euro is going up, the dollar Swiss is going down. So, this is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It didn't come down and touch the 200 exponential moving average. However, depending on how the euro reacts come Asia, our next Asia session, we'll see how the Swissy starts its week ahead. But at this point, it's in an uptrend. This is in an uptrend, and the euro is in a downtrend. So everything's fitting out quite well there. Let's take a look at the pound dollar, one of our pairs that we trade on a regular basis. This week was horrible for the pound dollar. It was really all over the place. It only gave us like one day of a nice trade. And I did not look at 1-hour charts before I started this. This is my Saturday morning, and it's quite early, to be honest with you. I'm doing this about 7:30 in the morning, so it is quite early. This has gone sideways, and we have the last 3 candles are indecision candles. So who knows what the pound is going to do as we move along. As you know, Angela Merkel was very involved with this situation with Greece. And, not that that's going to affect the pound, but it's going to affect the euro. So just keep an eye on that. All right, let's take a look at the dollar yen. I talk about this every week. The dollar yen I don't trade as a trading pair. I use it as a tool. If you don't have the dollar index, just use the dollar yen, and you'll see that this basically mimics the dollar index like to the T. It's pretty neat how that works. So we've known that the dollar is just maintaining and not obtaining any kind of forms to the upside. So this is coming down, but it's at strong support right now. So we'll see what happens. It looks like the dollar strength is going to resume. And I think the holdup, I hate to keep going back to Greece, but I think the holdup is what are we going to do and what's going to happen with Greece? It's a big effect if Greece leaves the Eurozone. So positive or negative, it's a huge, huge effect on how that's going to work. So we want to keep an eye on that as we move along. And this pair will be some pair that we just need to watch and just have it on your platform. All right, let's go to the euro yen, one of my favorites. The euro yen is bearish. If you look at it spatially, it's bearish. It's nice, moves down, nice fibs, and then pulls back down again. I'm expecting this to continue to drop. I'm looking to sell this next week. And this is just looking really well. Not much to say on the euro yen. Just sell it. And it's worked. Yes, we had some up days, but pretty much the pair is right now sideways. But again, this is another pair that is closed on a doji. So it's going to be very interesting in Asia in the beginning of the week. So that'll be very interesting. Our first session of the week is going to be the euro yen. And also, traders, just to keep in mind that we are coming into the Easter holiday season, so that might affect some of our currency pairs into next week. Here's the pound yen. Really slow moving, like 3 days out of the week, didn't do anything. Moved yesterday, gave us a nice big pull up to the upside, and look at where it stopped. It stopped at the 200 exponential moving average. Absolutely stop sign right there. This pair definitely respects the 200 exponential moving average. It always has. And this can hang out here, so we'll see what happens. But not a really busy week with the pound yen. It was 3 days was pretty quiet. Nothing really happened with it. Let's go over to the Aussie yen. We haven't talked about the Aussie yen in a while. It's well, if you look at strong versus weak, the Aussie yen is basically in that same situation. That's why we're sideways. Now, don't get me wrong, traders. There's a lot of pips here. Remember, this is a daily chart, so there's a lot of pips here. So this moved from 93.56 and it's moved down all the way to 97.35. So sorry, 92.75. So yeah, this is there's a lot of pips on this chart, and it's come down. But where is it now? It's at significant support. Look left of the chart. Traders always look left of the chart and see where you're at. However, if this breaks this, we have a really clear shot to the downside. So we're looking for this to break support, give us a retest, and then we can short this really well. And when you get to your lower time frames, it's going to do that way before the daily chart's going to do it. But a lot of pips here on the Aussie yen. Here's the Aussie dollar. Really sporadic this week. We had 2 days of nice movement on the Aussie dollar, nice downward motion with nice fibs, and just kept on coming down. So we had some pretty nice stuff here. But again, this pair has been all over the place. If you look at Monday's candle, that blue candle, that was our second higher low. What happens? We get a doji on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're in a down slope. So again, if you look left of the chart, we're coming up to support, which is a very significant level. So we'll need to keep an eye on that as we head into our next Asia session, and of course on the time frame that you're trading. Just remember, traders, that when you're looking at your time frame that you trade, so if you trade the 15-minute chart, you should be looking at like the 4-hour chart for your master chart, just to see where price is at and what resistance and support levels it's coming up to. I trade the 1-hour chart. So I'm always looking at the daily chart. I'm always referring back to the daily chart to see where it's at, reference support and resistance. And if there's any problems coming aboard, I'll be able to see that on the daily chart. This is Euro Swissy. This is pretty funny that they took out the 1.2 floor, and now we can see it's that C letter, upside down C. If you look all the way to the left of the chart where that red doji is, and then you see all the blue candles, and it comes up, and it slowly moves back down and to current price. And we call that an old man easing into a hot bath. So this is going to be interesting to see how this works. And that would mean that the euro would become weak, and the Swissy would become strong. So that's going to be an interesting situation to come. I don't trade the Euro Swissy. I don't even look at it, to be honest with you. I might look at it quickly as a tool, but I don't use the Euro Swissy in my trading. Here's the Euro Pound, another nice pair to trade. It's the two opposites. They used to be 2 years ago, they used to be correlated really big. Well, they're not correlated anymore, and they're on their own. So we'll take a look at how that works. And I would say, this is just fibbing the current swing. And Thursday and Friday, we have now continuation of the downtrend. So this is bearish. I would look to be selling this in the week to come, unless we find out some surprise on Monday, but really ends up being Tuesday. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. One of my favorite pairs to trade. This has really been all over the place trade. This has been a very hard pair to do an analysis on and a trade plan. I do a news forecast. I do a currency forecast newsletter every day during the week, And you can obtain that at fxclearing.com, or you can sign up for it. It's free. All you got to do is give your name and an email address, and it'll be sent to your email every day. And I do that in the Asia session, so you'll have it for London and New York. And this is just, this is just all over the place. You can see it's in a downtrend, that goes to an uptrend, that goes back to a downtrend, now back up at an uptrend. And, just don't know where this is heading. And like I said, this is a daily chart. So these dojis with these big wicks tells you that if you look at an hourly time frame or a 15-minute time frame, price is all over the place in that 24 hours. So it's very difficult sometimes to trade. This has been a challenge. I haven't traded the New Zealand dollar in probably over 2 weeks, and I used to trade it like regularly, almost every day. Let's get over to the loonie. This is a dollar CAD. Not much to say. It's been in a range now. This is almost like 3 weeks here. It's been in a range. Nothing to say here. I'm not trading the dollar CAD. I have nothing against trading the dollar CAD. I used to do it all the time, but this is not tradable at the moment. This needs to do something. It's sideways, and I'd rather trade the trend. Let's go over to the pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is a great pair to trade. We can see this came down really nicely, fibbed nice, and basically came to support. And now it's looking to head to the upside. We've had 3 days of higher lows. And look at Friday. This move on Friday was unbelievable. I did watch this. I missed it, but I did watch it. I don't know why the pound Aussie has such a huge spread. It's like a 5 or 6 pip spread on this. And I'm not sure what's up with that, but the spread is really crazy. So when that spread gets up that high, I just avoid it. There's 41 other pairs to look at. And the last chart of the day, traders, is the Euro Aussie. This pair trades very nicely, and it usually trades over 130 pips a day on a 4-week average. This has been horrible this week. It's been very hard to trade. You can see that on the last 5 candles. Indecision, indecision, decision, indecision, and then decision. So, it traded on an up note. It's traded on a high. It hasn't taken out any significant highs. We're not in a change of trend. It's still bearish. And just keep that in mind, that we are still bearish in the Euro Aussie. Even though we've had up days, we are still bearish. Just a very hard pair to get an entry and stability in the pair. That's my big issue. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, I'd like to thank you for joining me on Friday Wrap-Up, 5 hours after the New York close. And remember, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come and visit us at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Thank you, traders, and have a wonderful weekend break. Get some rest, spend time with loved ones and family and friends, and refresh yourself for another week ahead of Forex trading. Take care, my friends. Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.